Hello, hello, everyone. This is Ariel Asher, and you have arrived at our third session of the Virtual Speaker Success Program. We are having so much fun. We're covering a lot of territory. Now, sometimes my subjects may jump around. The first session of this, we really talked about the template of your presenting, your speaking, and don't worry, we're getting back to that. Next week is devoted to some offers and how to transition and some more speaking templates. But I just wanted to make sure today that we checked in with some studio stuff so that my ladies are all looking good.
Great.
All right, last week we talked about branded marketing tools, and that is session 2. I showed you, I recommended to you that you get your name as your domain name. One of our fabulous practitioners and authors in our program actually has her name plus wellness as her business, and I think that is a really smart way to go as well. But remember that you are your brand. We talked about the tools that you need, including your Speaker One sheet, okay? And that is something that is available for you to look at. Also, you can look at all my materials to look at as a template. Sorry, I'm getting notifications as we're speaking here. Notifications. You're welcome, Linda, and I'm usually, but no meeting. Okay, let me hang on one second. I promised Paula, we had a snafu with one. Actually, I'm gonna pause.
Overwhelm, that's
exactly.
The big thing.
I think Zoom is in overwhelm. I have gotten a lot better at not being rattled by these things because I do teach Zoom online to kids and stuff goes wrong, and sometimes stuff goes wrong in a big way, like this when there are links that are all over the place and everything. Anyway,
you know what? I had a thing happen a few weeks back where I was on a speaker series with some authors and listening to them, and their moderator was Kate Hudson. She got dropped for 15 minutes before she could get back on. And so my response to that was, well, if it happens to her, it's not that big of a deal if it happens to me. So guess what? Don't take it personally, Deb.
Right. I know.
Just don't take it personally.
Nice.
I had to get off my high horse. It's not about me.
Yes. Okay. So moving right along, we don't know if we're hoping that if Paula listens to this recording and for some reason she doesn't make it on, just know that we actually tried once again to get you in the fold. So as I was saying before we had some snafus, we went over your Speaker One sheet and the details that should be included in that. It's a great exercise for young speakers or even speakers that are very well seasoned, just to go through and think about what your objective as a speaker is every once in a while and make sure that your speaker sheet is matching that. Even as an exercise, I think of it as a living document. I update resume. I've got lots of different resumes and stuff. Anyway, so that's my spiel on that. I talked a lot about the virtual business card. I think that is a great tool. And I talked a little bit about last week too, some marketing platforms, and we'll mention what I actually mean when I'm talking about that or when I say that. This week I have for you, we will review our speech template and we'll talk about those speaking platforms. We'll talk a little bit about virtual presenting, how to create your studio. We're going to hang out and spend a lot of time with that today. And if I have time, I promised one person that I would tell her how to advertise on a podcast that may roll over to next week, because it's a lot of information and I want to make sure that I don't go through it so fast that you ladies can't absorb it. So we may not get to that last subject until next week, but that's okay. It's on the agenda. Okay, at this point, I'm going to stop the recording. We're going to play a fun game just to relax and just to get us all present in the room together and to get our imaginations on point. So I'm going to actually stop our recording for just a moment. You ladies, we're going to go ahead and resume. You missed out. Those of you who weren't here for our ABC dice, we had some amazing, really heartfelt presentations. Really well done. Okay, back to my agenda for today. Let's talk about platforms. This is where you are speaking. So, as authors, you have the distinguishing factor to be awesome. So you can speak as a featured author. You can to support your business, anything, but having a book is a great sort of it's a calling card on steroids, right? It presents you as an authority. This means that it's really great for you to start inviting yourself as a guest on podcasts, on either independent or major broadcast television shows. You do that by associating yourself with big networks. You can speak as a keynote speaker at live events. There are live virtual events now as well, because we're going through a time when actual physical live events are not happening. There's networking groups. Universities, schools, libraries, depending on your topic and your demographic of who you're wanting to reach. You can offer your services, corporate trainings, and my very favorite is host your own. Make your own platform. So that's just my comprehensive overview. If you haven't thought of these things, and we mentioned earlier, you can advertise as a sponsor at different kinds of events and everything. There's a lot of ways to get yourself out there and become known as a speaker. Remember, it's important on your website, on your business card, on LinkedIn, anywhere where you're interfacing with the public, that speaker is part of your title or a subtitle, or appears somewhere that people can see that, so that people know that you're available for that, because sometimes people might not know if you're not leading with that. Let's talk about presenting in general. When I'm talking about that, of course, I'm talking about the difference between what you say and how you say it. There's a lot of the speakers in my class here that I'm sure you're well aware of. Albert, how do you say his name? Mehrabian, and his theory. Okay, I'm not sure about if I've pronounced his name right, because I don't know if I've ever heard it said out loud, so please forgive me. But this is a man who, for a very long time, had a theory about verbal communication. And his theory was that 55% of the information that you are conveying with your audience is visual. Now, usually in speaking, when I'm teaching presenting, I call that body language. But if we are going to get multidimensional about this, You also need to take into consideration your surroundings. If you're doing virtual presenting, all of the visual information that you are putting forward. So that means you, your body language, your wardrobe, everything, the lighting of the set, the environment that you create, everything like that. That's the visual part. He then went on to suppose that 38% of communication was your voice. Here he was talking about your tone of voice, inflection. When I work with my students on their actual voice, we talk about the coloring, the emotion. Okay, this is where the frequency, the frequency and tone comes in. And I put forward that this is the audio portion. And so to be multidimensional, not only do you need to work on your voice, but you need to make sure that you're supported with good amplification. So good microphone, or if you're presenting virtually, that's kind of what we're talking about today, that you're set up in that arena. And then, can you believe this earth-shattering statistic? He says that 7% is verbal. People don't really care about what you're saying, right? Or very little, which means that you want to choose less language that's more concise. I know sometimes I don't embody this because I like to just rattle on. That's the kind of channel I am. Whoops, here we go. And it just comes flying out. So just know, and I'm saying this and I want to underline this point because I know that it is going back to my authors, that 7% of what you say when you're on the stage or when you're presenting is the verbal part. Okay, people really plug into your energy. How do you feel? How do you carry yourself? How do you sound? How do you look? And the overall, this whole thing, this whole package here is what I call your presence, right? That's what you bring forward, or your energy. Most people in my groups are all holistic practitioners and advanced teachers, but this is what we're talking about when we say you presence your true self, right? And we want to make sure that you have the tech tools to support that so that you show up well when people are ingesting the media that you produce, the media of your message. Which leads me to the meat of my presentation today. I have for you so many links and everything. I don't want you to worry about getting all those down. I can give you this actual presentation in a PDF, and these hot links will be available for you. I made sure to include all the hot links there. I can, real quick, for anybody that likes to follow along, drop these links in the, and you don't have to, these are Amazon links that I just grabbed online. Let me put them in the chat just so that you have them, just in case anybody likes to have that, because I know me, I like to peek around. I'm a multitasker, what can I say? Okay, there we go. So let's talk first about cameras. Okay, and so all these links are here for you ladies, and I'll make the slides available for you. Everything's cool. The first thing that I want to say is you can decide whether you need a camera or not. Let me stop my screen share here and show you some difference in camera. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change my camera. Now this is the camera, and I'm going to turn off all the lighting, all the nice lighting that I have, because I want you to see what it looks like. This is what my set looks like when I just have my computer. Okay, so this is what and I've got a nice computer. I've got an iMac desktop, comes with a very nice computer, right? But you can see that I don't look super attractive at this point because I'm not lit well. The resolution isn't as high as it could be. Now, without doing any lights or anything, I'm going to show you the camera that I recommend, the Brio. I didn't even turn on any lights. That's just this camera. Okay, so that is just super easy. I'm going to show you one more time. Here's this. Here's this. Oh my God, that's a major difference, okay? Now I've lost weight recently and everybody keeps going, oh my God, you look so different, what's going on? It's partially because I lost weight. Yeah, I do look great, but but it's also because they may have been interfacing with me before I had this camera, because I've really only had it for the last month or so. And so I'm noticing that people, like when they see me, they're all, no, it's not that, it's not your camera. But of course they don't know if it's the camera, right? Because they can't, because I don't do these sort of comparison tests. Thank the Lord, Paula. Oh my God, it's wonderful to have you. Good. Hi, Paula. Anyway, so we just had somebody jump on, and we just wanted to say hi to her because we know that we've been having some trouble getting her on. So I just want to show you there the difference. Paula, we're just talking about some virtual equipment to make sure that people show up really well. And I was talking about the difference between my standard camera that comes equipped in my iMac computer, which is a real nice computer. But then I just decided to go and get a better upgrade. And this is just a different camera, right? They're in the same place. It's just a little auxiliary camera that I have put there. And you can see that the quality of the picture is incredibly enhanced. So that's what I am saying here. The camera that I am recommending, oops, that's not the screen share I wanted to do. The camera that I'm recommending, where is that? Here we go, is the Logitech Brio. Now there are some cheaper alternatives that might be great, and an earlier version of the Logitech that is also my friend Jennifer Darling, who, I mean, she is a powerhouse presenter. She's a virtual presenter extraordinaire. She uses the C920. Let me real quick, I can share with you. This is the Brio. Also, the other one that I mentioned, these hot links are in these slides. So if you want those, and I've also dropped them in the chat for you. If you want to upgrade, then that's great. That is what I would recommend. But I also want you to know that you probably are walking around with one of the best cameras available as well, and that is your iPhone. Okay, so just know that when you're taking picture, of course, when you're using your iPhone, you don't want to use it so that you're looking at the phone. You want to use the camera that's on the back. This is the one that has the really high resolution, and I'll talk to you about some ideas for doing that. So you can't see yourself when you're filming. You could actually probably put it on a tripod. I'll talk about that in a moment, but it's a good camera, probably better than the camera in your laptop or your desktop. So consider using that camera, and then you can connect with a cable to your laptop so that you can see all your Zoom stuff, but the camera will be your cell phone connected to your. So just think about those things, or just get the Brio or the C920. I did a lot of research online before purchasing these items. I looked at a lot of YouTube videos to see what a lot of the YouTube stars are using and what they recommend. And without getting like an actual digital camcorder that would be really high resolution, this is really a great way to go. go. And you can put it on these retractable arms and stuff. Like if I wanted to, I could take this microphone off and actually put it and move it around different places if you wanted different angles. Right now, of course, I've got it on the top of my computer. So that's what I have to say about cameras, and those are my recommendations. Whatever fits in your budget is perfect. Does somebody have a question? I saw some.
Yes, move your microphone back because your voice went bad.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot that I was, I thought that I forgot I had it hooked up. I apologize.
That's okay, just so you've got it.
Yeah. Okay, and now the next thing I want to talk to you is about ring lights. Okay, these handy little things are so awesome. I don't recommend that you get one like for behind your computer, but as you see here, you can put your cell phone in there and of course turn it to the direction that you need to be. And these work great. They come with stands and a case and an automatic thing. I have one in my studio here. Oh, actually, let me show you something that you're going to love about this. Another thing about this Brio, that it opens up. This is why the Brio and not, sorry, this is a little bit back. This is about the Brio. It opens up the lens so you get this wide 90-degree lens. You get 78 or 65. You get standard. So you have these things. I have my studio is in my bedroom, so I always have that screen up. But if I don't have the screen up and I'm like, oh my God, I have to get online, then I can scooch over. You know what I mean? So that I can get it out of the frame, or if I'm wearing something that, or if there's something going on, or perhaps if I want my books in the shot in my set, then I might scooch over my set or whatever. So having the Brio, I have those kind of controls on my, okay. So that's wonderful. Back to lights, screen share lights. Let's go on here. What I was telling you about the, I recommend the 18-inch, which is bigger. The little 10-inch, the light is weird if you are doing any sort of, if you're doing any sort of stuff. I have the light, hang on one second, let me. I have mine set up. I just turned the light on. You can see I've changed the lighting here. Let me go back to my, you can see I've changed the lighting here, and I have mine kind of up and backlit. I have a ring light, even when I'm not using it. I have it in the studio for even when I'm not using it to record. And it's really good to have that kind of backlighting. You can see the lighting as I've turned it on. When I move my hand, you can see kind of the lighting behind me. This is a great trick if you backlight, if you are using Zoom backgrounds, okay?
Ariel,
to have, yes.
You are having screen share, so what you're trying to point out to us is not showing up because you're not the main
Oh, you can't see, oh, you don't have it, you have only me?
Is it just me?
I have screen share and you guys, so it's just how I have my screen organized. Okay, so hang on one second. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm saying that I have backlit behind me here. So right now I can't turn it off from where I am and be near the microphone, but I have myself, I have the ring light high and just above where the camera can view, so that I'm a little bit backlit. It lights up the back of my head a little bit. And this gives me good definition if I want to use a virtual background. Okay, so that makes me stand out against my background. If you're somebody that likes to use backgrounds, So this solves the problem of when you have a background and you get that weird thing where you start, oh, you can see a little bit, my hair is starting to move around there, but being lit up and behind. So if you have plenty of lighting in your house or natural lighting, that's great. But I like the portability of this, and you can stick your cell phone in there. It's great lighting for up close. So that's what I recommend for that. That is the Circle Light. Too many screens open on my computer. Boop-a-doo-doo. And then something else that I wanted to tell you ladies about was a Lume Cube. I love this little thing. And so even if you didn't want a ring light, you might want to invest in the Brio and the Lume Cube. The Lume Cube, hang on one second, let me show you what it looks like. Is this little gadget. Oh, I guess I could take a picture of my screen and show you what I've got on my, but it's this little gadget. It's little, it's about the size of a credit card. And it just has a little suction cup and it goes right on the back of your computer. And I'll show you, let's see, let me turn mine on. There we go. Look at that. I just got like some nice lighting to fill in my face and stuff. Okay, so I recommend this. You can take it with you and go, it goes on your laptop, it goes everywhere. It's a cute little thing, it's rechargeable, and you can control how bright it is. It goes dimmer and it gets brighter. I don't know if you can notice on the screen. Yeah, you can see it gets quite a bit brighter. You can see my face lighting up, and then that's off. There we go. So that's I have it quite bright there. It might be out of batteries right now because I was messing with it earlier. There we go. So that's that gadget. And I recommend that if you don't get any other lighting, that might be something that you would want to take a look at, especially if your computer is in a spot where you're not well. You want light that is directed around your face, because if you have a camera like the Logitech Brio that is autofocus, it needs the light to define the edges of your form. So the better lit you can be, the better everything is going to be better. Anyway, that's the Lume Cube. And I haven't found anything else like this. So this is one that I would recommend getting, the one that I am giving the link to here, because that is a really ingenious thing that I'm pretty stoked about. And then the last thing that I wanted to recommend in the way of lighting, I'll just mention it here, is I got, and I'll show them to you on screen here, I got these cute little 2-pack of lights. So I've got little tiny lights, and they're tabletop. They've got, and it folds inside. So they're really, you know, I just use them as they're pretty okay, but they're really bright. Okay, and they come with some gels that you can, different colors, so you can put different things. You can't adjust the brightness, right? But it does come with gels. But I have those, and I bounce them off, and you can tilt them, and I bounce them off the back wall, so it lights me that way. If that makes sense to anybody. I took theater lighting, so but I'm trying to give you guys the best and cheapest way of the pieces that you need. That key light in the back is going to give you a better zoom background, and a little bit of light in front, or to use your iPad or your iPhone with the Ring is really good camera quality. The Brio is probably a little better than the iPhone, but the iPhone is something that you can use. So that 2-pack of the lights, I got one for each side. I also use these lights. Let me share. Hang on. I got to keep up with my screen share. I also use these lights. Sometimes I put them on the ground, and I angle them up for green screen, if I'm doing something with green screen. Now that is a different circumstance, which you may or may not want to mess with. I like it. I'm not saying that anybody needs to use it. Zoom backgrounds are pretty good, but if you do have a green screen, it needs to be lit well or it's not going to work. So I use these. So I just like having them because they're handy and small, and the little, and these little tripods fold right up so it goes in my pack really easily. So that is my spiel on lights and what I recommend. That Lume Cube is pretty fantastical. I recommend it even for people that aren't doing presenting. I recommend it because people sometimes get on Zoom calls and stuff and nobody can, they look like, you know, the Unabomber or something there. We need to like shed some light on the subject. Okay, now let's get to sound. Now this is a particular favorite of mine. I want to make sure that you know it could be, you could get as technical as you want with this. For example, you guys all know I'm a performer, so I actually have, like, this is a $600 microphone, and I don't think that anybody should go out and spend the kind of money on this. This is a condenser microphone, and with the condenser microphone, I need to have a soundboard. So this is the one that I've used for years to do my podcasting and to do stuff, but it's inconvenient because it needs external power by running through a soundboard, which is okay because sometimes I connect other things, but I'm sure that you ladies do not want to go that extra step. That's way too complicated, okay? So what I do recommend is the Blue Yeti. Actually, the whole Blue line of microphones is superb. Let me show you real quick, screen share. But let me give you my 2 cents here because I've used a lot of microphones. And so this is actually the one that I've got here. This is the Blue Yeti Nano. I love it. It has a USB cord and you stick it in your computer. Okay, that means you don't need any of this. Okay, this is like not necessary, and this is a wonderful, wonderful thing. But let me give you a couple heads up. Like before, when Linda noticed that she couldn't hear me. If you have it in I want to make sure I pronounce this right because I always pronounce it wrong. If you have it in cardioid mode, it means you literally have to be speaking in it like this. Okay, you need to be right up with your lips practically kissing it. All right, that's cardioid mode. So it has 2 modes. Oh, actually, I should see what mode I've got it in now. So it has cardioid mode. I don't know which, I can't see the back of it, and omni mode. Omni is directional, which is fine. However, if you're doing podcast, you might want the cardioid mode. I'm just telling you this because if you get a Nano and you plug it in, you're, well, what do I do? And also a mistake that people make is you don't talk into the tip. So some people are like, you don't talk into the tip of the microphone, you talk into the side of the microphone here. So that's just a super tip. But I love this, the Nano. It comes on a cute little stand. My stand is in the box. I took it off the stand and got a shock thing, and I already had an arm from my other microphone. But yeah, I don't even know if you need the shock thing. I got it because I think it looks cool. That's one of those things. It really is. It's a little bit, you might want to have the arm as opposed to have it on your desk. Now here's why. If you have it on your desk, you want it, and remember that if you're doing podcasting, you want it really close to your face in that cardioid mode. So if it's on your desk, you're not going to be close enough, and it's only like this tall, right? So it doesn't kind of make sense to put it on a table if it's going to be in cardioid mode. So if it's going to be in the omni mode where it picks up sound, but just know that if it's in omni mode, it's picking up sound all around. So it's picking up the ambient sound in the whole room. which is probably not what you want to do as a speaker when you are, if you're doing an info product or something like that, or doing some sort of narrative. So that's what I have to say about that. But yeah, this is the one that I have and the one that I recommend. So we stop that share. Now, something else that you